ATPS started as a project under the IDRC, International Development Research Center of Canada, that provided resources for technology policy research, which was conducted within the Eastern Africa, Southern Africa, Western Africa in the early 80s. And thereafter, due to the success of this project by the coordinator, then Professor Sitobu, who was a senior program officer at the IDRC, who coordinated this project, there was an agreement to establish the ATPS as an entity, as a separate entity. And in his wisdom and expertise, he was able to set up this organization with formal establishment in 1994. When he now established it as an entity, joining both the Eastern African Technology Policy Studies Network and the Western Africa Network and Southern Africa also. So they all came together to become the ATPS network, African Technology Policy Studies Network.
Since then, ATPS has grown. ATPS was registered formally in 2000. In 2001, I became the executive director of ATPS that now moved out of IDRC to establish its own premises, became fully autonomous, as it were. Then in December 2003, with the help of the government of Kenya, ATPS became an international institution while I was still the executive director. In December 2003, I signed the host country agreement with then Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, who was the Foreign Affairs Minister for Kenya. And so ATPS made a transition from simply being a network to an institution housed in IDRC to an international institution.
ATPS national chapter offices in 30 countries as we speak, and with other institutional partnership in the other parts of Africa, 55 countries, make the ATPS the unique organization in Africa, because we have now access to every country through using our national chapter offices, and we're able to achieve our mandate working with stakeholders from in the quadruple helix, what we call quadruple helix, the policymakers, researchers, civil society actors, and the private sector actors. In those national chapter offices, we aimed to co-produce knowledge with the people. So it became a transdisciplinary network of policymakers, researchers, civil society actors, and the private sector actors that promote the generation, the dissemination, the use and mastery of science, technology, and innovation for Africa's development, for environmental sustainability, and global inclusion.
It's extremely important that ATPS has got very good working relationship with the government through the relevant ministries that deal with technology. Importantly, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. In this regard, that is important. Ministry of ICTC is also very important. In fact, we have a meeting coming shortly, and both of those two ministries will be two key players. We are talking of the cabinet secretaries will be participating, I would like to see, in the case of Kenya, as an example again, ATPS to collaborate with our institutions of higher learning, universities, and institutions of research. And as you know, Kenya has got quite a huge number of research institutions in agriculture, in water, in fisheries, literally in everything.
ATPS works with all these categories of partners to develop science and technology and innovations in Africa that promote the livelihoods of people, and also ensuring that there is sustainable development and inclusion. We work on these through 4 priority sectors that we have identified. That is environment and climate change, agriculture and food security, health and energy.
Our partners are at very many levels. The ones we are undertaking the project of educating the total African community on policies and strategies of science, technology, and innovation. Our partners in research institutions, education institutions, universities, and so forth, they are extremely important. Our partners in our governments, it's very important. Our government are also part of the sponsorship of ATPS. Let me give a very special appreciation to partners in the development world. You can call them donors or give them any other name. These are extremely important for the work of ATPS. It is through partnering with them, collaboration with them, we're able to achieve our aims and objectives. We are able to also, through them, reach other partners in the other countries out of Africa, in the developed world, and learn from one another. So our friends from all over the world who we have worked with, who have supported us, even in the smallest of things, we appreciate, we thank you. We want to invite you to join us in the next 25 years. Let's change Africa through technology, through science, through innovation.
ATPS national chapter offices in 30 countries as we speak, and with other institutional partnership in the other parts of Africa, 55 countries, make the ATPS the unique organization in Africa, because we have now access to every country through using our national chapter offices, and we're able to achieve our mandate working with stakeholders from in the quadruple helix, what we call quadruple helix, the policymakers, researchers, civil society actors, and the private sector actors in those national chapter offices.
In terms of impact, we've had trainings and to enhance the capability of our members in the area of concept and principles and application of the STI methodologies, the issues of identifying problems and carrying the clients along, the issue of report writing, targeting mostly the clients and the political class. And we've had grants from ATPS as individuals and as corporate organizations in the area of STI, and these grants led to publications, and we've had publications in terms of research series and the policy briefs, and those policy briefs targeted the political class and have had tremendous impact in informing and changing the activities and behavior of our political colleagues and the civil servants in the area of STI. Other impacts we can record for ATPS here is visibility. Our members participating in ATPS and acquiring knowledge enhances the visibility of our members as they become more relevant in the institution. There also visibility in terms of the research they are doing becomes a little bit impactful in the society and the country.
The ATPS is very instrumental in the building of capacity in research in science, technology, and innovation in Africa. Innovation studies are definitely context-specific, and so for Africa, we ought to have the cream of researchers who understand African issues and can best articulate them and elaborate them in their field of work, in the analysis and in the generation of options for policy making and all that. And this is why we need to do everything to maintain the ATPS on the continent. Our policymakers will need to understand the work of the ATPS.
ATPS worked with the USAID to develop a mobile app that was initially called Land Info mobile app, but now it has been upgraded to Land PKS. The Land PKS mobile app captures information in situ, and therefore a farmer or a planner can get information for a particular area, that is climate information, soil information, by a click of a mobile phone. So if any person or a farmer or a planner has a smartphone, they can use the app to capture climate information that will be helpful in terms of planning for land use. They can also use this information to plan their activities, the future activities such as farming, or even determine the specific crop that they can grow in a particular area.
It is important we appreciate, recognize ATPS for what it has done so far in supporting our African governments, especially in the generation, the development of policies in the areas of science, technology, and innovation. Because it's very important our African governments have got clear and good policies for managing, adopting science and technology and innovation. And ATPS in that connection has been very important. Personally, I worked with ATPS whilst I was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology when we were generating our nation's science, technology and innovation policy. And it has been working with many African countries and supporting them in that regard.
One of the challenges that we normally encounter is that we have to craft a different communication strategy for every target media or target audience member that we seek out to communicate to. For example, the way we'll communicate to a civil society actor is completely different from the way we communicate to a national government, which is also different in the way we communicate to, to a science club in some place, or they will communicate to our other fellow, network members, or they will communicate to, some of our stakeholders, like for example, the African Union Commission, Afreximbank, and the other stakeholders in the STI areas. That is science, technology, and innovation. And also, one of the other challenge that we face is that some of our target audience members come from countries whereby English is not very prevalent, and some of our publications are a bit technical, and have some bit of jargon in there to bring some bit of a challenge to us. But going forward, that is the challenge that we are seeking to undertake.
I think with enlightened leadership, with institutions like ATPS, with institutions that are supported by their own governments, which is important, educational universities, our research institutions, Africa can go far. We can confront a lot of the challenges we have because it's through science, technology, and innovation. A lot of these challenges will be dealt with. I would like to see ATPS work perhaps much more proactively with even the relevant organs of Africa that are responsible for science, technology, or innovation, We are talking of, in the case of African Union, we are talking of the commission that is responsible for science and technology and also higher education, ICT and so forth. With respect to universities, we are seeing, for example, the Association of African Universities, because they are the ones who are doing a lot of research. We have a lot of institutions in Africa that are doing incredible research. ATPS can come in to support them, and in turn they also support ATPS in supporting our governments to ensure we have proper policies for utilization of science, technology and innovation. If ATPS can do that, then I think we are making good progress.
I look forward to a time when ATPS will be integrated in the working of the African Union. Already the present management of ATPS is doing everything to keep the ATPS active. I look forward to the day when our political leaders will come to appreciate the fact that without science, technology and innovation, Africa is not going anywhere. And so it is very important that we make sure that ATPS provides the intellectual backstopping for the policies that we enact for Africa in the area of science, technology and innovation.
The future of ATPS is bright. So going forward, the IT team, the information technology team, in partnership with our communications team, are currently working on a new website. So this new website has a number of features. Number one, it has a very easy user interface that is able to bring out the best audience experience or the best visitor experience when using that website. Number two, we should also be seeking to change the colors of the website and bring in more warmer colors for the website. You realize that this website is has some bit of a blue color. That's our corporate color. So we want to infuse our corporate color and also bring in more warmer colors.
We have continued to transform and we have continued to grow from strength to strength, and to this date that see us today celebrating 25 years of formal establishment of ATPS as an entity in Kenya.
Let me take this opportunity and welcome everybody to Kenya for this very important meeting organized by ATPS. We are celebrating 25 years. It's been quite a journey, but we believe the next 25 years will even be better.